explains the first pasuk. It says, "You should see, understand that I'm presenting before you broken klolo." So he explains, "Habito Reeh shelo yeh bein inyonecho elo ofen beinoni, kmo she'amidin barov." He says, normally you have right, wrong, then you have neutral. The question is there a situation in a Jew's life where there's no wrong, there's no right, but it's okay? Meaning, every moment of your existence, you're endowed with it to utilize it with the value. So therefore, either you're doing the right thing or you're doing the wrong thing. It's like a person is an employee and he's not applying himself. And it's not, he has to rest for a moment to re-energize himself to be able to be more effective later. So what are you doing? You're being paid for this moment, you're being endowed for this moment, and how are you utilizing that ability that you're being endowed with? So therefore, it's either brocha or klolo. If you're investing it properly, then it's brocha. And if it's a misuse, it's a misappropriation, it's the equivalent of investment. That's what it is. So he says, Ki omnom anochi nos lefnechem brocho klolo v'shnei ktsovos. We talk about it's two ends of the spectrum. Ki abrocha hi hatzlocha yosem min hamaspik. Brocha means more than what's adequate. It's not you being paid for your... Brocha means more than that. Al tzara yosetov. You merit the ultimate. If you do the right thing, you merit the ultimate. Hakloli me'ira machseres shliyusek hamaspik. Shneim lefnechem lahasik kefi mashtikru. They're both available to go to the right, to the ultimate good, and to be punished to the most negative level of curse and diminishment. That's something else. Midat Beno is that has to do with midos. We're not saying you shouldn't study too much. The Rambam, when he speaks about the Shvil Hazov, he's speaking about a person who are easily conflicted. So how do you maintain that balance, not to be the equilibrium, that you shouldn't be, because of your own issues, to have a conflict to go positive or negative? So by keeping the equidistant point, that keeps that balance. He gives examples. The person is naturally very generous. Somebody makes a request of you. So that person, even though the request may not be an appropriate request, but because of your conflict, to give. So what is the person going to do? He's going to be touched in a way that he may be supporting something that he shouldn't support. Or he may be supporting it in a way, he'll be overly supporting it. He should support it to a lesser degree. So by maintaining, because a person is endowed with intelligence, but if the intelligence is affected by your emotion, then the person loses his objectivity. The only way you could employ and apply the reality of free choice is if it's in the most objective context. Now, how do you maintain that most objective context? You have to be at the equidistant point from both extremes, from both ends of the spectrum. That's the Rambam in Hilchos Deos. No, he's talking about something else here. He's talking about that when you do the good, you're going to be rewarded more than for the action you did. It's the ultimate good. And when you do the bad, but there's no benefit, there's no in between. Well, even wasting time is ownish. It's ownish. There's no benefit. Right? That's the right. A person's called a holich. An angel is an omed. Right? Ben omdin. Mahalchem ben omdin. The pasuk says. A human being either advances or regresses. A malach, an angel, is what it is. The way God created him, that's what he is, an angel. Okay? Haklolo. So what? It's a brocha shetishmu el mitzvos Hashem Elokeichem. What is the brocha? If you heed the mitzvos Hashem Elokeichem, Rashenochim tzav eschem hayom. Haklolo. Im lo sishmu el mitzvos Hashem Elokeichem. V'sartem min haderech asher nochim tzav eschem hayom. Leches achrei el himachem shelo yidatim. You veer from the path that I commanded you to go achrei el himachem shelo yidatim. I mean, is that what happens? I mean, what about a person, he chooses not to study, chooses not to observe Shabbos. He's not going himachem, that's idolatry. That's the most extreme. But what does it say in the creation in the second paragraph of the Shema? The moment you stop studying Torah, it's a slippery slope. So when it says in the pasuk over here, the curse when you don't observe the mitzvos and you veer from the derech, asher noch mitzav eschem hayom. And what is that? Ultimately, that's where it could lead. It could lead to what? To idolatry. It is. I mean, we say it right. Pen yiftel v'avchem v'sartem v'avaratem. You'll be seduced by your heart. V'avaratem elhim acherim. Right? You're going to serve false gods. I mean, it's not something that happens immediately. But the moment you allow yourself to be seduced, you never know where you can end up. This we say also, the Gemara says, Kol hakois kilo ovid avodah zorah, the Gemara says in Shabbos. A person who allows himself to be overtaken with anger, it's like you're an idolater. Why? So the Gemara explains, because when a person, or it says, Hashovach kelim mechamoso, if a person allows himself to lose control of himself, you never know where you can end up. You could even end up doing idolatry. If you lose, you become totally insensitive, you lose control of yourself. You become totally irrational. It's interesting. It should say V'hoyo kisovo el oretz. We always say, kach es aron achicha. What's kach always? Rashi throughout. It's always persuasion. A human being is not an object, right? You take an object, you take an animal, unintelligent creature. What's kach? Through persuasion, because if you persuade a person only chooses if he sees both sides of the issue. But if you're sufficiently persuasive, you have no choice. You're convinced. Once a person is convinced, you're taking it. So over here it should say, V'hoyo kisovo. Ki yiviach Hashem elokecha l'oretz. When God will bring you to the land. What do you mean God will bring us to the land? God would allow us to come to the land. God is bringing us. What do you mean He's bringing us? You have a question? Kanfig Nisharim was out of Egypt. In the Midbar, there was no Kanfig Nisharim. There was no Kfitza Derech in the Midbar. God is bringing you there. No, you're coming there. When Hashem will allow you to come, He opens the door, you're coming in. Kiviacho. Well, then it's true regarding every aspect of your life. If it's because He willed something to be, I mean, you could only walk because He wills, gives you the ability to walk. So that's Yiviacho. That's called when you come. Why in this context it was for you? God is bringing you to the land. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Here it speaks specifically. Here, when He will bring you, right? But He says it's with Nakasha Gosham of the Rishto. When He brings you to the land, you're coming there to inherit it. If you remember the Chaim regarding the Meraglim, right? It's over there. It says in the pasuk that what was the mistake of the Meraglim? Right over there, it says He made it very clear. It's the land that I am giving you. You understand? If a person, Hashem says, you're welcome to conquer it, then the Meraglim have a point. The spies say it's not conquerable. How do you topple giants? And it's not survivable. But what Hashem says, that I am giving it to you. A person says, I'm giving a piece of property, clear and free, all tenants, I will remove the tenants. And only the person who's gifting it could He remove the tenants. So Hashem says, it's the land that I'm giving you. It's clear and free. That somehow didn't register with Meraglim. They thought it's for us, we have to conquer. Hashem says, I will clear it. When you come, they will fall. So therefore, they said, look, it's a land that devours its inhabitants. It's a death trap. God is bringing you there. You're not coming there. For you to come, it's impossible. You can't penetrate that door. It's to inherit it. Only through him are you able to come of him. When it says, we speak about the chiyuv of challah. When you come to the land, you have to tithe your bread. That's coming. It's not. That has nothing to do with it. Here it's speaking about you coming there to conquer it, to inherit it. That's kiviyach Hashem Elokecha. No, it has nothing to do with it. He's the one who's actually allowing it to happen. No, challah means when you come into the land, you have to tithe your bread. That's not no, that's a reality. That's walking through the door. Here we're talking about Shebosham of the Rishta. How are you coming there to inherit it, to conquer it? Because he's bringing you there. If he doesn't bring you there, you can't conquer it. Because he's bringing you, that's why you're able to conquer it. Because he's actually doing the conquest. You're just going through the motions. Like we find by Yericho. They encircled it every day for it. Once, the seventh day, 7 times, the walls just sank into the ground. And they just destroyed them. Right? It was a miracle. Hashem, it's clear, Hashem is the conqueror. We just go do the motion and we activate the forces, but who's offering those forces? Hashem? To be continued.